Good evening, Des Moines, Iowa, and the world. Welcome to the Doc and Lefty program, broadcasting to you from the North Side Studios of webcast1live.com. This is Lefty, as always, bringing you the perspectives you love from the sides you hate, and sitting across the table, my rock, my everything, my patience in a time of storm, Dr. Bertroche. Doc, how's it going?
You know, it's going pretty good for me. I'm a little off center. There you go. Maddie works her magic. Because it's important to have a balanced life. And if you're just a little bit off kilter, you should get right back in the middle. Now, I'm lucky I got Maddie on one side and my anchor around my neck on the other across from me.
After I said all those nice things about you.
Oh, well, that's a nice thing. You anchor me by the neck.
I think that if I remember my epic poetry, my English epic poetry from, I believe, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, the albatross was a bad thing for the rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. I'm just saying.
Yes, and that's absolutely true. I want to say I got a couple of shout outs today. My dad, if you're a listener to the show, everybody knows he's not doing well. He continues to not do well. He's sick. He's so sick he can't sit up and watch TV. So hopefully he'll start turning this around. I want to thank my brother Joe for handling that quite a bit. And then Katya and Dasha. They are right now in Minnesota having a great time, and they're taking time out to watch this. So, any shout outs you want to do?
No,
not even to your dog. Hey, how was your trip?
It was awesome. We made it down into the. First of all, I'll abort that thought here for a second.
Oh my God!
The middle of Tennessee
you're
is some of the most beautiful country in this entire. I've never seen any prettier scenery than the Tennessee River Valley. It's ridiculous. I've been all over the place. I've seen the mountains that ring Salt Lake City. I've the open prairie in South Dakota. Tennessee River Valley, you need to go. You need to check it out. You need to drive through it. You know, flying is fine. It gets you there when it gets to where you need to go, but you really need to drive down through Kentucky, through the middle of Tennessee, coming down out of the mountains of Georgia, just awesome.
Oh yeah, I've been all over that area. Now I will freely admit my favorite spot in West America, or in the Western Hemisphere, is Isla Mirada, Florida. That is awesome. But my son and I took a trip. We saw Gettysburg, the Blue Ridge Mountains. I have been through the very same territory. We stopped at the Louisville Slugger plant, got our names and everything else. It is an absolutely awesome trip, and you saw the best America has to offer right there as far as their national parks. So that's all kind of, you busy over there? Or
I am.
You got a date?
I am. I'm trying to make one. I'm trying to make one here. You are stepping on my corner, and I appreciate it if you introduce our special guest.
All right. Well, a man who needs no introduction to local people, our local homegrown celebrity, Joe Grandanette, is again taking on David Young. For multiple reasons. I try not to be too critical of David Young on here, but luckily tonight we get somebody who can be fully critical of David Young, and we can use him as target practice. You know, there you go, Joe. Anyway, Joe is a converted Democrat. Which, see, and lefties over there going like, oh my God, he used to be a Democrat. This is what Democrats used to be until they left Joe behind. So anyway, he is running for Congress in the 3rd Congressional District, and there's been plenty of bloodshed across Polk County over the last 3 or 4 election cycles. So, Joe,
hi,
welcome.
Pat. Hi, Doctor.
Tell us all about everything that's new since the last time you were on. Because you have new family and new, all that.
I'm married. Got a baby daughter, 3 years old. Her name is Rosina. She keeps me hopping around and keeps me young. I'm retired now from the Des Moines Public Schools. I no longer have my business, and I shut that down at about the same time. And I'm challenging D.C. David Young.
D.C. David Young. Now, why do you call him that?
Well, he's lived his whole entire life in Washington, D.C., his adult life. in Washington, D.C. He's a professional politician. And he wasn't elected an official, but he was in Washington, and so he knows every blade of grass in Washington, D.C.
It looks like you got something chomping at the bit to say over there? Nope. All right. Nope. Well, and that is true. Now, he worked for Iowa's beloved senator, most beloved senator, Charles Grassley, and for years. And I do recall over at Jalapeno Pete's, he did get up there and say, well, listen, I know how, D.C. works, and I don't ever plan on retiring. I'm going to get my cushy job and hang on to it with both hands. Now, he didn't say that last part, but that's what he said. So that's I think, what Joe's responding to. So you're willing to go out there and beat the bushes again, even though you got a wonderful wife who I've met. She's pretty. She's nice. And a wonderful daughter. Now, last time I saw your daughter, she was still probably, 6 months old, 8 months old?
6, 8 months old.
Yeah, because we saw each other over at one of the auctions one time. And so I can't wait to see a picture of her a little bit more.
You want me to show you now?
She was beautiful. Oh, yeah.
Well, sure. Why not?
So, anyway.
Took this at Christmas time. My daughter, Rosina, my lovely wife, Ting. Yeah,
all right. Oh, my goodness. He's old school. He's got an actual picture.
It's out of a wall and everything. Well, Joe, let me ask you this question.
An actual picture out of a wall. Let's zoom in right there.
There you go.
Let's zoom in right there. That's a Christmas family. That made even more beautiful by the fact that Joe's not in it. So.
I'll let that land.
Great.
But Joe,
that's okay.
Is there anybody else on the primary against David Young in the district coming up on June 7th?
Just that you. I know of. I don't.
No one else declared. Nobody else on the ballot.
Nobody else on the ballot. Just him and I.
That sounds well, and that's not super uncommon.
I heard of someone that's going to be in the general election. There's somebody that is going to be not
on the Republican side.
No,
certainly
Libertarian or Independent.
Oh, okay.
I've heard of that, but nothing in the primary. So it's just Mr. Young and myself.
Do you find it interesting that Rick Bertrand out in Northwest Iowa is getting a little bit more press though than David Young was first term in there, flipped the district from blue to red. You'd think that is there any concern that you haven't caught fire as much as you'd want to, or have you? I should ask.
Well, I plan on winning.
I understand. I understand that. But all the press has been about Rick Bertrand and Steve King.
Well, that's because the press won't cover me.
Okay, why is that?
And that's a good reason. I'd like to know why the Des Moines Register hasn't interviewed me yet. I'm waiting for a phone call. I left messages this last week. I can't get on other talk shows. They won't let me on. So there must be something in the water there that they think that I have a shot at Mr. Young because I'm on top of the issues. The issues are on my side.
Have you reached out to his campaign at all?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, I have David Young's his telephone number, and I've left a message on him. I've Facebooked him, and no reply. No reply. I wanted to have a debate with him, but I can't get anybody to debate it. And the Democrats had a debate last week. I asked KCCI if they would have a debate, and no reply. And the Des Moines Register, no reply. So here we are. And but that doesn't bother me. I've already set the groundwork. I've done this. I've been there. I've been out there. I've been stomping the bushes for 6 months. I've been throughout the whole district. Everybody knows I'm running. And it's just a matter of now, who do they want? They want David Young, a political insider, or they want an outsider like myself that will tell the truth. Mm-hmm. And I got a good feeling about it, but you don't know. That's why we have to vote. And I'm an old ball player and coach, and
I remember
that's why they call it upsets in sports. Just because there's a favorite doesn't mean necessarily that he's going to win. So,
as a Chicago Cubs fan, I can sympathize with that.
That's right. You understand about the Cubs.
I do.
All right. So we're finished up our first segment. We want to thank Joe Grandanette for joining us today. We want to thank all of our sponsors. Des Moines Anesthesia, 515-574-6442. They do pain management and anesthesia, and we all know that doctors are getting more and more scarce, so give them a call if you have a pain management need. Halo Capital, Lebinas Law Firm, Bertrosian Associates. Most importantly, you, the listener. Without you, we couldn't do what we do. We will be back with Joe Grandanette right after this break.